Good morning and or afternoon, everybody. I'm Quintessence, but of course you already knew that because my name is right there, and you're also on my channel. But for the sake of formalities, I'm introducing myself. This is my first shoutcast of the season, and I am pretty excited to get going. I don't know about you guys. If you can't read, today we have ourselves an awesome match to kick off the season. We have the Wise Guys. The team is new, the players are not, but a new super threat in the SCL in the form of Wise Guys up against the stalwarts, the mainstays, Cavern Angels Blue. You know them, you love them. They deserve to be here. They're known for their PK, they're known for their damage. Now, what is interesting is that Wise Guys Wise Guys was a team that seems to have been formed with the purpose of trying out unorthodox NR and Empire comps. So we'll see what Wise Guys brings to the table. Especially now, since we're the beginning of Season 7. This is the first set of official games with the new SCL modifiers. So honestly, with the amount of experimentation that teams have been doing over the last couple of weeks, honestly, I think it's anyone's game. Will the standard 2-2-1 meta remain intact with these modifiers? I don't know. I mean, we've seen so many things. We've seen Alphabet Squadron comps on Empire and New Republic. We've seen B-Wings. We've seen all Y-Wings. We've seen ICTs. We've seen B-Wings. We've seen W-Wings. So many things that people are experimenting with, and so many things are up in the air. I don't know about you, but like that's the kind of stuff that I look forward to. My personal opinions on some aspects of the modifiers aside, I do love it when the meta, when what is considered the standard, is still up for debate. That is the sign, I believe, of like a healthy and evolving metagame. So, the match should be getting started shortly. In fact, the lobby is now up, so we're going to go ahead and get that started. Oh no, hold on. I do not wish to join as a player. I have not joined Wise Guys or Cavern Angels Blue. Okay, so we are now waiting for players to shuffle on in. Hello, Lyra. Anyways, so if people at home here need reminders, anyone who's watching this cast probably already knows the modifiers, but from what I understand, the modifiers for Season 7 of SCL, some slight value adjustments to hull on ships and capital ships and flagships, but the most impactful change in Season 7 is obviously the component bans. Empire cannot run reinforced hull. Well, Empire can only run Reinforced Hull on TIE Reaper. Reinforced Hull is banned on Standard TIE Fighter and TIE Bomber. And TIE Defender cannot run Dampener. I believe TIE Defender is stuck with Nimble shields. Nimble Deflector. They're something like that. I don't fly TIE Defender. All I know is that Scrambler cannot be used on TIE Defender. I believe that Defender can still use standard hull. I believe that was the play, because originally there was a set hull and set shield for Defender, but now Defender can just run whatever, just run standard hull. If someone actually knows, you can feel free to correct me. The Defender is Nimble Shields any hull except Dampener. Yes, that's okay. Thank you, Lore. Thank you, Lore, for correcting me. I was on the right track. Alright, so players have entered the lobby. And I have given my go-ahead. The caster is ready. Wise Guys is ready. And Cavern Angels Blue is ready. And here we go. Loading into game number 1. Cavern Angels Blue versus Wise Guys. Let's get into it. I forgot to clear out the score. Cavern Angels Blue has not yet won 2-0. Let's see here. We have Cavern Angels Blue on the Empire, so we need to go to this layout. I swear, this is a professional operation. Anyways, Cavern Angels Blue has a new pickup in the form of Time Bomb, formerly of Orange Squadron. We have Big Brain II, Rain, Zug Zug, Time Bomb, and Deadweight on the Empire side here in the Xavian Abyss. A map favored to the New Republic, and on the New Republic side, we have Maticus, Esoda, Scribbler, Not Tom, and Rod coming out here to play in the Xavian Abyss. A map recently unbanned for play in SCL, which is a decision with no small amount of controversy, given that Xavian has historically been a map banned in SCL because of the discrepancy in AI between Empire and New Republic. For those who did not know, Xavian Abyss was banned in SCL because on the New Republic side, there is one less AI X-Wing, which means there are more TIE Fighters and X-Wings, which means NR, mathematically, technically has the farm advantage. But the people have spoken. Xavian Abyss is deemed tournament legal. So let's see the ramifications of that decision. Will Xavian become a competitive mainstay loved by all, or will we all pay for the consequences of our actions? We shall see. Loading into game number 1. Wise Guys versus Cavern Angels Blue. Wise Guys coming out with the quad Y-Wing and the U-Wing, living up to their name. Let's see how this comp works. Rod, Not Tom, Scribbler, Soda, and Maticus up against Deadweight, Time Bomb, Zug Zug, Rain, and Mr. Big Brain II on support. Let's check out these Y-Wings. We have two... Okay, we have a Gunboat Y-Wing, we have a full standard farm Y-Wing, we have another Torp Y-Wing, and Golo farm... Okay, so we got a mix of Gunboat and full farm Y-Wings. Both fighters, or both teams, has their bombers lining up packs here in the Xavian Abyss. Currently, morale slightly in the favor of Cavern Angels Blue, but that bar is dancing back and forth as the bombers find their packs. Raiders' shields are being stripped by the supports on both teams. Morale now in the favor of Wise Guys. Raider is being burnt on the side of the New Republic and the Empire as well. It looks like the Corvette will go down before the Raider does, which means the morale has now just yo-yoed back and forth. That is now in the middle ground. An intense back and forth right now between these two teams. Time Bomb, Not Tom, Scribbler, Maticus, everybody here doing their best to try and scrape together the morale they need to flip the phase. And hold on here, we have Scribbler with the Ion primaries on the Y-Wing. Ion Torp, Proton Torp, Ion Lasers. An interesting choice of comp. And here we have Scribbler just laying the Ions on the Time Bomb, putting pressure on Time Bomb while he tries to farm. 10 seconds left in the phase, and morale is still in favor of the New Republic. Unless if Wise Guys can get some more morale in at the last second, they're looking at a shorter offense than they would probably like to see. And here we go. New Republic, Wise Guys, win the opening dogfight, and they have a lot of work to do on not much morale. Let's see what they do. Esoda already in with the marks, already in with the Ions. Scribbler also in with the Ion Lasers and the Ion Torpedoes. The shields on Charlie are falling. They have fallen. Half morale. Wise Guys does not have a lot of time to do a lot of damage. Let's see how much they can get done versus the farm of Cavern Angels Blue. Zug, Time Bomb, Deadweight, all in TIE Bombers. And I see that Deadweight and Zug are both running standard lasers on the TIE Bomber. That's another loadout decision that's been a matter of some public debate. TIE Bombers being so much more squishy now. People are wondering, can the TIE Bombers survive long rotary runs? We'll see. And the phase has flipped. The call has been made to fall back on the defensive. Wise Guys, I believe, managed to get a cruiser out of phaseable before the phase ended. And here we go. New Republic. Yep, New Republic flexing that farm advantage on the Xavier Abyss, trying to get those packs in. And here we go. Look at Zug, the champion of the standard lasers, running those standard lasers before they were cool, doing those orbits on the Nebulon B. And here we have Time Bomb, also a champion, a longtime champion of the standard lasers, along with his former Orange Squadron compatriot Gonk. And Deadweight also here with the standard lasers. Standard laser, TIE Bomber orbits. Maybe not putting in the damage they need because the phase is about to end and Charlie is still not out of phaseable. That cruiser's at 20 and dropping. They could force this. This would be a long out of phase, but it is possible. Wise Guys are now back on the offense. One cruiser down. Delta Shield's about to fall. If Wise Guys are able to pump in the damage fast enough, we could be seeing a Star Destroyer offense in this phase, but only time will tell. Cavern Angels Blue needs to get that farm in. Those bombers taking chip damage from AI and PK pressure. Definitely gonna get big brain, a lot of work, a lot of resupplies. We're looking at just above half morale. Delta is about to go down. Raider is still up, so it looks like the Wise Guys will probably be choosing to go through. And there we go. We now have our first ISD offense of the season. Isoda already in with the marks. Isoda, known for his support play, known for his getting marks out, also known for his getting dunked. One shield generator has been disabled. This is going to be a short ISD offense. Wise Guys looking to at least get a dunk and a shield gen kill. They've gotten both. The Star Destroyer is wide open for attack for the remainder of this phase. Wise Guys has not a whole lot of time to get some damage in, but that Star Destroyer is in a very vulnerable state right now, even if they're not able to kill it in phase. And Not Tom does not care that the phase is about to flip. He's trying to get pressure on Zug. Are Wise Guys going to opt for the out of phase, or are they going to defend? They're going to defend. They have a cruiser and a half to sit on. If they could out of phase that Star Destroyer if they want to, because as we know, if the Star Destroyer exists, it is oopable. But they have a very, very cushy lead ahead of Cavern Angels Blue. Cavern Angels Blue has a lot of work to do here on the Xavier Abyss. They need they have two cruisers and an MC-75 to burn through, and their Star Destroyer has only one shield generator left. Strong position for Wise Guys, difficult position for Cavern Angels Blue. The Cavern Angels Blue are no slouches, and they are showing this right now with their damage output. Zug goes down, unfortunately, which will be devastating for their damage output. And the phase has ended without an MC-75 assault. They will get one out of phase. Will they get the second out of phase? I'm not sure, but it's now time for the offense for Wise Guys, and that Star Destroyer is wide open and vulnerable. 73 health and soon to fall. Unless if Cavern Angels Blue can pull off a monster defense this phase, this game seems firmly in the grasp of the Wise Guys and their wonderful quad Y-wing comp. This is the stuff of nightmares for an Empire team. A team of all Y-wings just storming through the Xavier Abyss, carving their fleet apart, ripping apart their Star Destroyer. Power has gone down. Weak spots are being picked off by Wise Guys. And even if they flip the face now, Cavern Angel Blue cannot stop what is about to come. That Star Destroyer is not long for this world, and down it goes. Wise Guys take game number 1 against Cavern Angels Blue. The quad Y-Wings flying away from the destroyed Star Destroyer. As we all know, cool guys don't look at explosions. They got shit to do. Game number 1, Wise Guys. Now let's look at the scoreboard. Look at the distribution of damage between the 4 Y-Wings on Wise Guys. Absolutely incredible. Each Y-Wing putting in a bare minimum of 50k cap ship damage. Excellent spread. And we see that the farm primarily was taken by Maticus and Not Tom, and Zug Zug and Time Bomb being the primary farmers on the side of Cavern Angels Blue. Cavern Angels Blue put up a valiant fight. But of course, in the end, Wise Guys came out on top. New Republic OP remains to be seen. Now that was an exciting game number 1. Now, quote me if I'm wrong, or correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that this is the first game to be played of SCL Season 7, not counting any placements or those other side matches that were played a couple weeks ago. But an amazing start to the season. And we have those matches, yes. First official main Season 7 game. And we already see the experimentation with team comps on the side of New Republic. The Empire meta could also see a little bit of a shakeup, but definitely the New Republic being the more versatile of the two teams. So many combinations that you can run. So many things that could be viable this season. We've even seen the A-Wings being fielded by people like Baywatch. Now, whether or not that will see an appearance this season is to be determined. I look forward to the A-Wing comp with equal parts excitement and trepidation. Because on one hand, variety and innovation in the meta is always good. It's a sign of a healthy and evolving metagame. But as a bomber main, I fear the A-Wing. I fear the double A-Wing comp. Any bomber can share in that fear, in that trepidation. The A-Wing doesn't do any OBJ whatsoever, but they can shred a TIE Bomber, especially a standard hull TIE Bomber on these mods. And we are now waiting for the lobby for game number 2. Obviously, Cavern Angels Blue now getting their chance to take an NR win. So we'll see. Will Cavern Angels Blue get the NR split here on Xavier Abyss, or are we going to see... Are we going to see a New Republic split and a game number 3? Or are we going to see a 2-0 sweep by Wise Guys? Only time will tell. And the lobby is now up, and players and casters are now flying in. All right, and welcome, first-time chatters. Thank you for the follows, and welcome, because you've tuned into the stream at an excellent time, because we are about to start game number 2 of Wise Guys versus Cavern Angels Blue, 2 potential major titans of Season 7 of SCL. And it appears that all the players are in the lobby. We're going to make sure that the teams are ready to go. Caster is ready. Natty Odd, I believe. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but hi, thank you for the follow. Oh man, Zyfez hitting me with the multiple waves of nostalgia. Rancor Squadron 2020 5 A-Wings. Oh jeez. Man. I miss Rancor. I miss all of Rancor Squadron. I miss Sultry. I miss Boss Nass. Even though, Boss Nass is still around, but she doesn't play anymore. But she is a regular of this stream, and I hope she is doing well today. Ah, yes, actually, I was so caught up in the novelty of the Wise Guys comp that I didn't even really know that Cavern Angels Blue attempted to run the triple bomber last match. And here we go. Game number 2. Wise Guys versus Cavern Angels Blue. Can Cavern Angels Blue get the NR win here on the Xavier Abyss? We'll find out. Here we have a slight change in the lineup for Wise Guys. Not Tom Scribbler, Maticus, Isoda, and returning to the SCL is Jareen, former Splinter Squadron, Return of the King. Glad to see him back in the competitive scene, ladies and gentlemen. And here we have Cavern Angels Blue. They've also made some minor roster swaps of their own. Rain, Big Brain, Deadweight, Zug all returning, and they have now swapped in Pseudo 9. One of their other new acquisitions, formerly of Grey Squadron Nova.
Yeah.
All right, 20 seconds left on the clock. Now, Cavern Angels Blue is a team that knows the 2-2-1 meta very, very well. And if they've been practicing something crazy on the New Republic side, if they've been experimenting with team comps, they've kept things fairly tight-lipped. So we'll see. Will Cavern Angels Blue attempt anything new, anything exciting this season, or are they going to stick to the standard meta? We're going to find out, because game number 2 is about to be underway, once again, returning to the Xavier Abyss, every farmer's favorite map. The space tunnel from hell. Alright, you see the MC-75 coming out of hyperspace. You see the New Republic fighters flying in formation. We have Cavern Angels Blue versus Wise Guys, and we see right away that Cavern Angels Blue seems to be running the traditional 2-2-1 comp this game. Big Brain on support, Pseudo 9 on the Y-Wing, a ship we see them rarely fly in competitive. They're usually known to be a support main. Let's see how well they do here against the Wise Guys, who seem to be flying the double TIE Reaper comp. What is that? That's a resupply marks. And the mask! We have double U-Wing resupply mark with mask coming out from the Wise Guys. You love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. You love to see it. 2 pancakes. The Squadron mask making its return to competitive Star Wars Squadrons. It's early Cal Cup all over again. It's January, February 2021 all over again, folks. Here we have Cavern Angels Blue desperately struggling to keep the morale in their favor. Raider has gone down. A pack could do this. If Zug can get this pack, this could be a flip for Cavern Angels Blue. And the TIE Fighters, as they are wont to do, just scatter in all directions. You love to see it. You get a pack of 5, and then the TIE Fighters go off to Narnia or somewhere. I don't know where they go. Honestly, sometimes I feel like the AI, when they split up, they probably go to the same place where your socks go when you after you put them in the dryer. Just a portal to nowhere. 5 seconds left on the clock. Cavern Angels Blue have a very slim morale lead. If they can get the win here, it's going to be an extremely short offense. Cavern Angels Blue managed to scrape out a win, but they do not have a lot of time to get anything done. Time is of the essence. Big Brain needs to get in there and get marks in now. Deadweight has Ion Missile. There are no Ion Torps on the side of Cavern Angels Blue. This is purely going to be support Ions and Ion Missiles, taking down the shields, and the shields on Charlie are falling in quick measure, but is it quick enough to get the damage in? Charlie has gone down, or Charlie's shields have gone down, and we have the X-Wings laying down the Torp truck. We got the Y-Wings laying down the Golos. Getting the turret strip. Cavern Angels Blue's damage output now is coming in quite fast, but not fast enough. The call has been made to fall back on the defensive. Wise Guys, with their double TIE Reaper comp, get to have their turn. They're going to have nearly permanent mark uptime if they stagger the cooldown sufficiently with these double TIE Reapers. Not Tom, Isoda, or Not Tom and Maticus both running the traditional full farm rotary TIE Bomber. And Jareen, is Jareen flying the Ion Defender? Oh, he is not. I am disappointed. No Ion Defender for Jareen, not this time, but not like they need it. Shields on Charlie are down, and that Nebulon B is melting. They're going for the medical frigate, all right. That medical frigate is falling apart. Scribbler appears to be in a bit of trouble. Gets picked off by Cavern Angels Blue. And that is now the flip to defense. Not Tom getting a dunk for his trouble on the way out. That Nebulon B is at 12. It is out of phaseable, but will Wise Guys commit the time and resources to get that out of phase now, especially now with Cavern Angels Blue getting in there? They have a cruiser and a half to burn through. Same with Wise Guys, but they do have the initial momentum from winning the flip. Will that be enough for Cavern Angels to keep this game in their favor? We'll see. Deadweight and Rain doing the traditional X-Wing Torp truck runs. Rain running the standard lasers, Deadweight running the burst. Nothing we haven't seen in SCL before, but they do it so well. And Pseudo9, to their credit, appears to be doing a pretty bang-up job in the Y-Wing. Definitely not a role that they're known for playing, but they seem to be playing it to an efficient level. Zug, of course, one of the monster farmer OBJs of SCL, also doing his part. Delta, Charlie is now out of phaseable. Delta looks like it could be rendered out of phaseable. Raider has gone down, so if Cavern Angels Blue can get that last bit of damage in for the phase flip, they could get a double out of phase. Charlie is out of phaseable. I do not know if Delta is. Deadweight here is cashing in that morale. Meanwhile, Wise Guys, the double pancake, the IHOP special is in. Delta shields have gone down. That Nebulon B is wide open. And so far, morale is good. This is either going to be a guaranteed double out of phase, or perhaps an MC75 push. And if they have to push through to the MC, they definitely need a shield generator to stay competitive here in this match. Scribbler, apparently having been forced back to the ISD, presumably by Cavern Angel Blue's PK pressure, but that's just fine. Isoda is still in the thick of it with his resupplies and his marks. And it looks like the phase is not long for this world, especially with Isoda being picked off. And the unfortunate little bonk from a soda. Oh no! I saw that coming from a mile away. A soda goes down. The phase is over, but the wise guys have the double out of phase, which is severely going to cut into Cavern Angel Blue's morale budget as they go in on this Star Destroyer. The flexes, Rain and Deadweight, jockeying for position. They're looking to get those shield generator dunks. They need to pump in a ton of damage on this Star Destroyer. At half morale, a one phase may not be possible, so they need to get work done, and they need to fall back for an MC75 defense, which could be easier said than done. The fish is so readily guttable. The Cavern Angels Blue have succeeded. Both shield gens have been dunked, and power is about to go down. How much damage can Cab put in before this phase ends? This phase is not long for the world. Deadweight here now in the standard X-Wing, trying to get some pressure on Asoda, one of the two pancakes. They can focus down one TIE Reaper, but the other is still gonna get in and get the marks. Asoda dunked and goes down. Ah, I see. They have now swapped off the second TIE Reaper, so there will be no marks on this MC-75 Assault. Scribbler is now back in a TIE Defender. One shield gen gets dunked. The other one needs to be dunked or destroyed in due time. Shields are not going down very fast on the part of wise guys. The best they can hope for now is to just get a shield gen kill and fall back for the ISD defense. Very close game on the side of both teams. Raider or a pack will do it. Raider is about to go down. The phase is about to end. And Cavern Angels Blue now get a second chance at taking down this Star Destroyer. The MC-75 shields have been disabled, which means that fish is open for the gutting. Cavern Angels need to destroy this Star Destroyer this phase. Can they do it? Or can wise guys pull off a monster defense? They'll definitely need it. That Star Destroyer is just above half health and falling. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but it looks like the Star Destroyer is not long for this world. It's at 25 hull and dropping, even if the phase flips now. That is absolutely out of phaseable. Pseudo went down at some point during the offense, but it does not matter. Their teammates are here to clean up and take down the Star Destroyer. They get the slice of pizza. They take game number 2. We're going to game number 3, New Republic split. A strong showing from the wise guys, but Cavern Angels Blue come out on top. Let's check out that scoreboard. Zug Zug with the monster farm. 52 AI on a map at like Xavier Abyss, which is notoriously hard for AI farm sometimes. And 80k cap-shaped damage each for the Torp Truck flexes. Not to discredit the wise guys, Jareen, Not Tom, Maticus, and Scribbler all putting in impressive damage spreads. Well, folks, the first competitive game, the first game of Season 7 of SCL is going to go to a game number 3. Now, this is the stuff I live to see. I don't know about you guys. And I think this game has proven that despite the experimentation, despite the new and exciting NR comps that are being workshopped in between seasons, the standard 2-2-1 on NR still is very strong when executed correctly, especially on a New Republic favored map like the Xavian Abyss. All right. Is there going to be a game number 3? I'm assuming this is still a best of 3. Let me just double check here. Yep. Game number 3. Cavern Angels Blue is Empire, and they are hosting. All right, Caster is in the lobby and ready to go. We are now waiting on both teams to file on in and get ready. Pseudo9, thank you very much for the raid. 1 is greater than 0. Every last bit is appreciated. Now, yes, it appears that Cavern Angels Blue is the host, and they have chosen Empire for game number 3. Now, normally, Empire game number, like if you have the choice of faction, normally Empire is a no-brainer. But with the evolution of the competitive meta and these modifiers, who knows? Maybe NR might prove to be the stronger faction this time around. Who, honestly, it's up in the air. I don't know. None of us know. We are still waiting on players to enter. There is one more player that is not here. All right, the final player has filed in. Caster is ready. Are the two teams ready? I am excited to see where this goes. Game number 3. Who will take home the victory? Who will take the dub? Who will get the chicken dinner? Who will get the victory royale? Who will be the Apex champion of this match? Been playing a lot of Fortnite. Battle Royales are on my mind lately. I started playing Fortnite again not too long ago. I still have Apex Legends installed, and now one of my friends is asking me about playing PUBG again. I don't know. I don't know if I can play 3 Battle Royales. All right, we have gotten the ready from both Cavern Angels Blue and Wise Guys. So, all they need to do is pull the trigger and we can begin. I am sorry, Zyphaz, I did not see that. Links are purged in this chat. Okay, here we go. We are now loading into game number 3. Cavern Angels Blue pulling Time Bomb back into the main roster here. Of course, as I said before, Time Bomb, former longtime member of Orange Squadron, now here with the Cavern Angels. And we see that Wise Guys is now fielding the same comp from game number 1. Not Tom, Rod, Jareen. Well, actually, no, different comp. Not Tom, Rod, Jareen, Asoda, and Scribbler. Once again, very nice to see Jareen back in the competitive scene. X-Splinter. There's still a few of the X-Splinters kicking around. Fennicar is still here. I think Nop is still around, kind of. It's just nice to see some of the old mainstays of competitive Star Wars squadrons coming back for one last hurrah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what sort of crazy comp is Wise Guys going to field this game? Is it going to be the Quad Y? Is it going to be Alphabet Squadron? Is it going to be Double A-Wing? Who knows? I don't! It's exciting! I would assume maybe it's probably mostly Y-Wings, considering, you know, the name. And here we go! The MC-75 and the Imperial Star Destroyer are dropping out of hyperspace in the middle of the Xavier Abyss for one last tango. Cavern Angels Blue versus Wise Guys, who will take the series. We see Wise Guys is now running the Quad Y comp. I see an ICT. I see an ICT. Double ICTY from Wise Guys. They are about to turn the Xavier Abyss into a lightning storm. Cavern Angels Blue, perhaps anticipating the ICTs, have deadweight and a standard TIE Fighter. Rain and Big Brain are gonna have a hell of a time. ICTs are online. Rain's shields are being stripped. Big Brain shields being stripped as well, but that's not going to stop Brain from getting the PK pressure on the Rod. Rod has to fly evasive to keep the farm up, but Wise Guys on the verge of flipping the phase. Just a few AI will do it. Not Tom has it lined up. One AI, about 3 AI now, one pack, Golo out. Corvette goes down. But the Raider also goes down. Now the AI, the morale's back to where it was just a few seconds ago. Few AI will do it. Can Wise Guys secure that farm? Rod goes down. Jareen goes down. Rod is in serious trouble. Gets dunked. Gets the repair. But it doesn't matter. The phase has ended. The dogfight has ended, and Wise Guys get a full morale offense. Asoda already in, marks out, ions out. You know the drill from here. Scribbler in the ICT Torp Truck. Jareen also in the ICT Torp Truck. 5 proton torpedoes each. That's a lot of damage on the table if they can get those torps off. And less resupply dependent than the X-Wings. On paper, very efficient and very deadly. But let's see. Shields on Charlie took a little while to go down, but the shields are down and the hull is being ripped into. Jareen and Asoda now in range, dropping those torps, dropping those big damage bombs. Can they squeeze in the damage they need for an out-of-phase? The phase is flipped, and Scribbler is on the tail of Big Brain as he tries to get in for the marks. Throws out one last resupply before going down. Or perhaps I've spoken too soon. Big Brain pushed to the light cruisers and gets away with 2 hull. What an absolute mad lad. But Jareen isn't done yet. Jareen's on the chase. Jareen's on the hunt. Jareen's at IHOP. Jareen wants pancakes. Let's see. Meanwhile, on the offense, on the side of Cavern Angels Blue, Time Bomb has been forced off. That squishy, non-reinforced TIE Bomber just getting chipped down. Time Bomb down. Big source of damage for Cavern Angels Blue. Down. The phase is very close to ending, and Charlie has had barely any damage done on it at all. A stellar defense on the part of Wise Guys. That the ICT and that PK pressure coming in strong. No out of phase for Cavern Angels Blue. That puts them at a steep disadvantage against the Wise Guys as they move in for their second offense.
Let's keep up this pressure.
Why Jareen indeed? Why Soda? Why Scribbler? Why Tom? Why Rod? Just why? That's probably the question Cavern Angels Blue is asking right now as the Wise Guys are just ripping into their cruisers. Those Torp Truck Y-Wings are no slouches at all. Jareen gets the Torps. Scribbler's got the Torps. ICTs are running, making life for the Defender and the Reaper an absolute nightmare. Not that you needed to make life more miserable for a TIE Reaper, mind you. Phase is at half morale. Corvette is still up, so if the damage comes in fast enough from Wise Guys, they will probably be forced to go in for an ISD assault, but we'll see. Is the Raider being worked on? The Raider is being worked on by Cavern Angels Blue. Shields are down. Raider's at about half. We are now in a state where both cruisers are in a state of being out of phaseable. Will Cavern Angels Blue let the Raider take one of the cruisers? And it looks like they're in a position to let that happen. Wise Guys have a choice to make. Will they take the cruisers down and go in for an ISD offense? Or will they hope for a double out of phase? Not Tom. Gets dunked. Gets pressured out. Now here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at a very interesting point in the phase. Jareen gets picked and goes down, but not without a return pick on Time Bomb. Raider is still up on the part of Cavern Angels Blue. And it appears that they have either gotten a PK pick or a tactical suicide, which is now forced the phase back to defensive for Wise Guys. But that means they get to cash in that double out of phase. And Cavern Angels Blue is in a rough spot once again. 1.5 Nebulon Bees to burn through and a full MC-75. They have their work absolutely cut out for them. It's a daunting work ahead of them, but Cavern Angels Blue are not a team known. They're known for their PK pressure. They're known for their damage. They're known for deserving to be here, and they're definitely not known for giving up. Excellent dunk onto a Soda, but a Soda will get away. We have one cruiser down to the point of being out of phase, and the next Nebulon B being worked on. That Empire damage is coming through, but will it come through fast enough for a double out of phase from Cavern Angels Blue? I don't know. That Nebulon is at 55 and counting, and the phase has ended. Wise Guys now get a swing at the Star Destroyer, and a Soda throwing out the resupply and is already in range for marks. Let's see what they can do. Scribbler lining up a sloop. Jareen lining up a sloop. Sloops are coming out. One shield has been dunked. And while they wait for the second shield to be popped, we had some Wise slipping in under the shields to get goals on the turrets. Shields are now down. Morale just above half. Power has just gone down. The weak spots are available for the picking, like popping bubble wrap, ladies and gentlemen. And the Wise Guys are going to town, dropping the torps, getting the weak spot pops. Star Destroyer's at half. The morale is at half. If they keep up this damage output, Wise Guys are looking at a game number 3 victory and a series win. But they have, but of course they have to kill the Star Destroyer first. It's not over until the big ship explodes, which it looks like it's going to do in very short order. Game number 3 and the series go to Wise Guys and their quad Y-Wing comp. Cavern Angels Blue saying to themselves, why? Why did we lose? How did we lose even? As the quad Y-Wings and the U-Wing fly away victorious from the dead Star Destroyer. Game number 3, Wise Guys. Let's take a look at that scoreboard. 69 nice thousand cap shit damage from Not Tom, 66k from Rod, Scribbler and Jareen also pitching in that cap ship damage. Excellent spread from Wise Guys. And of course, Zug Zug, no slouch in the farm department. And as Zyphas has pointed out, 69 AI exactly on the side of Cavern Angels Blue. Very nice indeed. And there we have it. The first game of the season taken by Wise Guys. The new kids on... Not the new kids on the block, but just the new name. Excellent performance from both teams. In the NR split. You love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. Empire lost all 3 games. Is this the beginning of a new era of SCL? All right, we'll see if we can get some brief interviews in from Wise Guys and Cavern Angels Blue, as is post-game tradition.
Oh, hello.
All right, we have our representatives from Wise Guys, Not Tom and Jareen. Return of the King. Glad to see you back, Jareen.
I hope you didn't focus on me at all in the game, because that was terrible.
Well, it's been a long time since we've seen Jareen play. I wonder what he's doing.
Stalling out repeatedly.
Well, despite any mistakes you may have made on your end, Wise Guys in their debut game of the season, or debut match of the season, come out with a 2-1 win. New Republic split on Xavian. Congratulations, first and foremost. And now I gotta say, obviously this team was made with the intent of throwing out some unorthodox New Republic comps. So, how'd you guys feel going into the Xavian abyss of all places with the Quad Y comp?
Well, I think as everyone has noted, if you're doing something fun and unique for NR that you feel good about, you feel even better about it on Xavian, right? So, it's like cool, extra farm and Tunnel of Death. This is great. So we liked our strat. We had 2 different variations. You saw both of them. We had the no ICT one. We had the ICT one. So I think it went just about the way we thought it would. Empire game was a little rough, but Tom?
Yeah, no, I'd echo that. And they're all close games, I think, so it was fun.
Yeah, they were definitely very close games. Also, obviously this team was made with the idea that you're going to fly Y-Wings as much as possible, but of course, you do also have to play Empire half the time, and we did see the double pancake comp, the IHOP special.
Yeah, IHOP special, I
don't think we've actually run that before.
Yeah,
I think this was the first time we ran it.
So when we first founded Wise Guys, obviously we have two rules. The two rules is if we are presented with a faction choice, we must pick NR, and the other rule is no X-wings ever, even on a desperation flag attack. So, when we first started coming together, we were like, do we forfeit Empire games? And we're like, no, that's lame. That's not fair for the other team. So then we were like, well, we should try some fun stuff on Empire too. I might as well, spirit of the team, you know. So we were doing triple defender. We even did a quad defender once. That didn't work. So I think we came up with the two pancake things like literally 2 days ago.
Something like that.
Yeah, and so we're like, bombers are sad. They need resupplies all the time. Why not even more resupplies? You know.
Honestly, just seeing the squadron mask show up in a competitive game after all this time, it just sent my soul Ratatouille style back to like the first months of Cal Cup.
Wait, did we run mask?
I don't think we had mask.
Yeah.
Did you run mask? I thought that was.
I
thought there was a mask.
Maybe I don't. I mean, we were flying around. I don't think.
Unless if I was wrong, it looked like there was the Mark resupply and then the Mark mask.
I think it was Mark Ion Missile, but
was it? Okay, so I might have been wrong.
Or no,
but I mean,
we definitely had double marks. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Teams have been exploring the double support comp one with marks.
Yeah, the double marks is definitely like super oppressive.
Yeah, just the constant markup time, no countermeasures ever.
Yeah,
as the defender, you literally just get to throw out ASMs at your heart's content. It doesn't even have to be a good launch. Just why not throw it out there? You know, you got infinite missiles essentially.
Okay, so there was no mask. You know, to be fair, I haven't seen a support loadout that wasn't resupply marks in such a long time that I just don't even know what icons look like anymore. So that's my mistake, ladies and gentlemen.
So, they did a really good job. They came out in triple bomber. That is probably the correct response to when you think you're going to see ICT. I mean, not probably. I think it is the correct response. I'm
inclined to agree.
Really well. They played the first game really well, and then the second game, I think we actually were doing really well until the flag attack, and they just had a horrible flag attack. They had a good defense. We scuffed some stuff. I think Ahsoka didn't get in. They did a really good job picking Ahsoka before he got in. And,
I think that was a matter of not being used to that strat.
Yeah, and so I think. Oh, and also our second Reaper switched to a defender.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
And we probably shouldn't have switched because it turns out having that backup mark would have been nice.
Yeah, that was something I noted during the cast, that Scribbler had swapped back to a defender right as Ahsoka was getting pressured out of marks on MC.
Yeah, so we that flag attack was awful, and then their next attack they had, I think they sensed that we kind of threw it there, and they did a good job and capitalized and won the game.
Yep.
And then so if we hadn't switched, probably would have been good. Also, I could have switched to Ion Defender, which would have made the lack of marks not such a big deal on flag attack.
I also noted that in the cast. I was like, wait, are we going to see the Ion Defender from Doreen? I was sorely disappointed to see Green.
You will see it. You will see it.
I say that now. I know for a fact that when Safford goes up against Wise Guys, I'm going to be like, holy fuck, Doreen, get off this defender.
And then game 3, we tried to switch it up and bring out ICT because we're kind of counting on the fact that they thought we wouldn't, little chess or whatever, and so they did switch to the defender, and so we were able to capitalize a little bit with the ICT on the defender. I think Rain, he actually caught me in a stall, and I was like, well, I'm dead, but I was floating into the gas, and he sold out to kill me, and then he died in the gas because my ICT stripped his shields. So that was kind of funny.
I think everyone took at least some short trip into the abyss during that set.
Yeah. I wonder how many deaths to the abyss we're gonna see this season.
A lot. You get dunked and you just float in there, and you're just like, I guess I'm dead.
Not to mention, sometimes it's really easy to just completely lose your sense of spatial orientation in the clouds.
Yeah, the arrow is not useful, right? It's like completely useless.
Yeah, it's totally useless. So I'll ask one last question. So obviously, new season, new modifiers, and right now it seems like, especially like NR comps are just completely just up in the air. There seems to be no agreed upon new approach to New Republic. Even Empire, people are experimenting with different comps other than the standard 221. So I wanted to see, what were your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen with the meta, especially on New Republic side?
Talked a lot, Tom. You want to take this one?
I think, I mean, you could go two ways. You could double down on Empire's going to have a lot harder time getting damage out with or without your intervention with these new mods. So you could just double down on your new base race advantage, basically. Or you can say, look how easy these pathetic bombers are to kill. Let's just make their lives miserable. And I think both might be viable. We'll see as the season goes.
I think we're going to see both, right? So we're kind of double downing on the base race style with the 4 Y-Wings, and I think Baywatch is going to show us
there's our ICT comps, right?
Yeah.
We do a bit of both.
Or Baywatch's, A-Wing, B-Wing thing to make bombers miserable. That we're going to see both of the styles, I think.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys, for the interview. Congratulations to Wise Guys for the strong 2-1 win and our split and ROP.
And ROP. Let's go.
Always.
Our time has come.
The time has come.
The sad wing is over.
How long has Jareen wanted this?
The days of sad wing are over. The Chad wing has risen.
The Chad wing will rise. But thank you very much for the interview, and good luck on the rest of the season, you two.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for the cast. Can't wait to watch it back.
Of course.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Now, how about Cavern Angels Blue? Oh, yep, Rain's already here.
Hey,
just jumping the gun there, just like the moment they leave, he's in.
Oh, ready to go.
On my in and out of game, Rain is just on my tail.
I don't know another way to interact with you.
So yes, we do have Rain from Cavern Angels Blue. Unfortunately, not able to take the series, but managed to get a game off of Wise Guys. So, what were you thinking? What were the thoughts? What were the feelings on the team coming in against a team that you knew were going to field an unorthodox NR comp on a map that hasn't seen competitive play in well over a year and a half?
I think my thoughts can be summed up with the Angry Cricket Man gif. Just hands on the hips, staring out, really Xavian, round 1 against the Wise Guys. Really?
I mean...
But that was my first thought. But, I heard Jareen say it, and I had said the same exact thing right after game 3. They did a good job with the chess moves. So we were expecting heavy ICT in game 1, and so we try to go triple bomber. I'm still not clear if that's the best move on Xavian because of the AI deficiency for Empire. I think on a map like, I don't know, SLEs or Yavin, that's probably the play. So I'm not super clear if that's better. And then in game 3, we're like, okay, let's go 2 flex. We'll go our regular 2-2-1, and then they brought out the ICT. So kudos to them for the chess matches. And I honestly, even though we came out on the wrong side of that, I love that stuff. It's just the kind of stuff that keeps me coming back to the game. It's so interesting just to see what the other team might do. Absolutely. Yeah. So we talked a lot about what do we do against these guys and the oppressive possible ICT, and what do we do to try to take advantage of what Empire can take advantage of on a map like Xavian.
Okay. My next question. I obviously Cab is running with 2 new roster acquisitions in the form of Pseudo 9 and now most recently Time Bomb, formerly of Orange Squadron. And I also noticed that Pseudo was running off role as an OBJ. Is that something that they've been practicing, or was that something that just kind of happened in the moment? How have the new acquisitions been acclimating to the team?
Well, Pseudo was actually added to our roster last season, but he didn't get to play a whole lot because he had, he had some physical issues going on that made it just kind of difficult for him to play. And actually, I think his one game was against you all last season. But Time Bomb is brand new to our roster, so some of it was a couple of our usual bombers weren't available. But Pseudo has been practicing that Y-wing, and funny enough, I guess that's what we do with former Nova guys. We stick them off roll in a Y-wing because last season we had Tasty Bombs in the off roll because he's usually a flex, and yeah, both Pseudo and Tasty showing remarkable flexibility and just playing off their normal role. So we figured that Pseudo would be the target because I'm sure they would have identified that he was off role, and I think he did a good job of limiting his deaths and just keeping him busy. So and Tasty Bombs, by the way, started basic training, so he's unavailable for us pretty much this entire season. So another reason why.
All right. Well, good luck to him.
Yeah, so you won't see Tasty Bombs this season, unfortunately. He was really strong for us last season, but hey, like I said, another former Nova guy ready to step in that OBJ hole.
Well, I'm glad the Cavern Angels Blue apparently is now just the home for former Nova players.
Yes.
When are you going to pick up Innocent Dictator?
No, we're on a mission to become what Baywatch used to be, which is just to assimilate the rest of SCL that's not in Gray Squadron.
The aggressive recruiting begins. Well, so Rain, I have one final question. It's the same final question I asked the Wise Guys. With the new modifiers, it seems team comps are just up in the air. People are still theory crafting and experimenting with so many different things, especially on the NR side. And we even see Empire teams now deviating from the standard 2-2-1. How do you think the meta will evolve this season? Obviously, a little early to tell, but what's your feeling? How do you think the meta is going to evolve, especially for NR and Empire?
I think teams are going to play it smart and they're not going to stick with one thing, and they're going to tailor. I think the better teams anyway, they're going to tailor it to the opponent and the map, which is something I always preach with us. Like, I think teams that have the exact same game plan for every opponent, every map, they don't have success. Wise Guys, like I said, I'll give them compliments again. Great job of game-to-game adjustments, and that's the whole reason why I like Battle of Three. But to answer your original question, I don't know. I don't know how the meta is going to evolve, and I think that speaks to how interesting modifiers make things. And I know a lot of people feel like Empire is a little over nerfed, and that could very well be the case. But I just love that we're seeing so much more than just regular 2-2-1. In fact, I think your team and our team, we might be the last two top 4 teams to be running 2-2-1, unless you guys are cooking up something. So we're the 2 boring teams left on the top.
Well, I cannot confirm nor deny what Squadron is going to be attempting this season, so you'll just have to find out.
Ooh, spicy. No, but like I'm just eager to find out. I think that makes it so exciting. I love that NR seems to be the stronger faction for once, because this game is over 2 years old now, just about 2 years old.
Close to it. Next month.
Yeah, right. So it's been Empire OP since launch, right? So TIE Bomber pilots, I urge you to hang in there, at least through round 1, when I'm sure we're going to take a reassessment at things. We can have NR OP for a little bit. It'll be okay. We've had Empire OP for a long time. And NR is, it's fun to fly. I love, the A-Wings, they're super annoying when we're Empire, but I honestly just kind of love to see it out of Baywatch, and I've seen other teams experiment. It's kind of good to see that ship come out of mothballs, and, just makes everything feel fresh again.
People are pulling out the A-Wing out of storage and once again putting the fear of God in the bombers.
Yeah. When I was an A-Wing main, eventually people figured out that maybe you should have more than one farmer, because if that one farmer is being targeted by the A-Wing, then, not much we can do. You have 2 farmers and we want reinforced hull. All of a sudden those A-Wings are very ineffective. So the A-Wing got a lot of help with these modifiers. It's still, again, sorry to harp on this, but very interesting, because the A-Wing is great at making bombers miserable, but it's kind of poopy for everything else. It can't really do OBJ effectively. I'd argue that a X-Wing is better suited for killing a Reaper. So it's a trade-off, and I think that the more strategic options that we give players, the more interesting the game becomes.
Oh yeah, fully agreed. My personal feelings on the state of the game aside, it is conductive to a healthy and evolving metagame to just have the ability to switch things up and deviate from the standard, like, orthodox comp. I do think overall it is good.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that because, I know people have their feelings about these mods. But like I said, it sounds like the league is going to look at retuning things if necessary. But right now we're still in an adjustment period. I mean, if everyone recalls at the start of season 5, when those modifiers came out, there was a lot of NR splits. And I think for the season, the whole league was 50-50 faction split. So it kind of took a season of adjustment before Empire came out on top again. So we're still very much early with these, and, there's an adjustment period to be had.
Early season 5, with the first season with modifiers, we saw closer to 50-50 NR Empire, and we even saw like 60-40 in favor of NR in Challenger, which was, to this day, is still absolutely wild to me.
Absolutely, right? So, I mean, that's the thing. Like these are sort of like, this is the next best thing we're going to have compared to a dev update, or a patch, right? These are the balance changes. And they're supposed to keep you off guard a little bit. It's supposed to shake things up, and that's what keeps it fresh, right? You have to figure things out a little bit again. And I just love that it's Empire that has to go back to the drawing board for once instead of NR.
Yeah, Empire is no longer the turn your brain off and win faction, as much as I hate to admit it. Sometimes I don't want to use my one solitary remaining brain cell to play the game. Sometimes I just want to go burr.
Well, you should play Flex then. You don't have to use a lot of brain cells for Flex.
If Saffrip Squadron needs to rely on me to flex, then we are in some serious trouble.
You're pretty cracked. You could figure it out. But I really appreciate you casting, Quinn.
Oh, of course, it's always a pleasure. It seems like whenever my schedule is open for casting, it's almost always a cab game. I feel like I'm like the unofficial cab caster.
So unironically though, you're my favorite caster in the post Jake era. So thank you. I look forward back. I look forward to listening back to the cast, even though we came out on the wrong end of it.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Rain, for showing up for the interview, and best of luck to Cavern Angels Blue for the rest of this round here and the rest of this season. Obviously, we'll be seeing you soon.
Absolutely. Look forward to it. Take care, Quinn.
You too, Rain. Have a good one. All right, so that is an SCL cast in the books. I just checked the Steam numbers for Squadrons. Is Squadrons on sale somewhere right now, or is it free to play on Game Pass or something? Because there's a pretty big spike in people. I'm going to give Q a chance.